Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to inform our viewers Community Calendar will now appear on television. We are now providing Community Calendar 30 and 60-second television ads on ZFB TV7 at a special rate. You will have the opportunity to showcase your ad either 6:58, 7:58, or 8:58 p.m. Monday through Friday, a minimum of 7 days. For more information, please contact our Sales and Marketing Department at 295-2828.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, January 30th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Topping our news, police this evening naming Janai Outerbridge as the man who was gunned down at the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club last night. Police today addressed the media to formally identify the victim and provide details surrounding his murder. Tarai Trott leads us off.
Deceptive quiet. The scene today were just hours prior. Last night at around 11:30, 31-year-old Janai Terrence Kyle Outerbridge was fatally shot by a lone gunman who was traveling on foot. Police today holding a news conference to make clear they are taking the incident very seriously.
The death of Janai is being treated as a murder investigation, and on behalf of the Bermuda Police Service, we extend our condolences to his family and friends. Police received several 911 calls reporting a man had been shot in the parking lot of the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club. Police officers and EMTs arrived shortly thereafter and rendered first aid to the injured man, Janai Outerbridge. Janai was later transported to the King Edward Memorial Hospital by ambulance, where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival.
The death of Janai Outerbridge marks the first murder in Bermuda for 2017 and the second shooting incident to take place within a week.
The circumstances surrounding the murder of Janai Outerbridge is being led by myself, Acting Detective Inspector Kenton Trott, and a team of detectives from the Serious Crime Unit. The focus of this press conference is to ask for the public's assistance in capturing Janai's murderer and bringing to justice those person or persons responsible. We are aware that there were approximately 50 persons at the Mid-Atlantic Sports Club on the night of the shooting, and in particular, we are interested in speaking with the persons that would have been in the parking lot of the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club at the time of the shooting.
Particularly, investigators are keen on speaking with anyone who drove along North Shore Road from the western part of Spanish Point to Barker's Hill Road between 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. on Sunday. Police are also looking to speak with anyone who came into contact with Mr. Outerbridge between Sunday and the time of his death.
Bermuda has lost another young man at the hands of senseless, unscrupulous men. Another mother and father now have to bury their son, and the extended family and friends of Janai are grieving. Janai truly has gone too soon, and as a community, we are calling on you to help ensure that justice is served and that Janai's family have closure.
Anyone with information is urged to telephone Acting Detective Inspector Kenton Trott, the Senior Investigating Officer, on 717-2345 or by emailing ktrott1@bps.bm or by calling the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline on 800-8477. Meantime, police declaring it too early to confirm whether or not Mr. Outerbridge's murder was gang-related. And as for assistance to police from the many people in attendance at the Mid-Atlantic Boat Club Sunday night,
we have spoken with a few witnesses. However, there are still some people outstanding, so we're asking those people to come forward, contact us, as we would like to speak with them.
Police are waiting for the results of the post-mortem to determine just how many times Mr. Outerbridge was shot and the exact cause of his death. Tarai Trott reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news this evening, reports of Bermudians being caught up in the U.S. President Donald Trump's recent ban on immigrants from mostly Muslim countries. Bermuda Broadcasting News has received numerous reports of Bermudians being stopped at the U.S. border over the weekend and asked for a visa, and other Bermudians temporarily prevented from leaving the United States via airports because they were told they did not have visas to return to Bermuda. We've received no reports of Bermudians detained. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is standing firm on its decision to implement the ban, with the president tweeting over the weekend that the U.S. needs extreme vetting of immigrants now. 16 attorney generals across the U.S. have condemned the executive order as unconstitutional. Mass protests erupted outside of major airports around the United States over the weekend in reaction to the ban. Further to that is news that President Trump has asked U.S. Border Patrol officials to consider checking the cell phone contact list and social media accounts of every visitor entering the U.S. for possible links to terrorism, with authorities having the power to deny entry to anyone who refuses to cooperate. In response to this story, the U.S. consulate here in Devonshire telling us, quote, "The executive order on immigration policy does not affect Bermudians. Bermudians are not required to travel with a visa unless required by an overseas employer or college or university." The consulate also notes that U.S. border officers are currently facing a difficult task of interpreting and implementing new policies. And if Bermudians are asked additional questions at border crossings, they advise travelers to simply respond to the questions as fully as possible, but feel free to correctly underscore that Bermudians do not require visas to the United States, end quote. Once again, coming from our U.S. consulate here in Bermuda. And we want to hear your thoughts on today's news, plus your news, photos, and video anytime. Make sure you've liked our Facebook page on the address on your screen to get our news updates. And if you happen to miss our newscast, don't worry. It's uploaded nightly to YouTube to be viewed anytime you want. So you can watch our news on your computer, laptop, or mobile device. Also, we're now available on the messaging service WhatsApp. So send us feedback anytime to 517-8579. We'll stay with us. We'll have more news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
More than 200 Bermudians are diagnosed each year with diabetes, and diabetes can seriously affect the health of your feet. We can help. The Bermuda Podiatry Center's specialized physicians are highly skilled in diabetic foot care. From annual checks, including vascular assessment to test blood flow in your legs and feet, through to treating complications such as foot ulcers, skin, and nail care. If you have diabetes, are at risk, or would like an assessment, visit the Bermuda Podiatry Center on Gorham Road. No referral required, and your appointment is covered by Major Medical. The Bermuda Podiatry Center. We're the foot doctors.
Calling all Bermudian University graduates. Have you considered a fast-paced and rewarding career in financial regulation?
As Bermuda's sole financial services regulator, the Bermuda Monetary Authority plays a key role in our success in the international business arena.
If you are driven, focused, and ready to challenge yourself, then apply to our graduate training program.
Visit bma.bm for details or check out our Facebook page.
We're accepting applications from January 3rd until March 31st.
The Bermuda Monetary Authority's graduate training program.
Challenge yourself.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
With car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
there's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly,
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
In court news, a trio are charged in magistrates' court for numerous drug offenses while a same-sex couple bring their bid to marry legally in Bermuda to the Supreme Court. Jasmine Patterson has those details.
33-year-old Ryan Willingham Walker of Paget, 40-year-old Roberto Marquez of Pembroke, and 34-year-old Lindsay Griffiths of Paget are jointly charged with conspiring to supply cannabis between a date unknown and November 17, 2016. They are charged with possessing cannabis with the intent to supply in Paget, possessing cannabis, a silver grinder, a digital scale, and cash from the proceeds of crime on November 17th. Willingham Walker separately is charged with possessing cannabis, while Marquez, a Bermuda customs officer, is separately charged with possessing cocaine with the intent to supply in an increased penalty zone on St. John's Road, within 300 meters of Saltus Grammar School. Possessing the drug with the intent to supply, a digital scale, and cash from the proceeds of criminal conduct on the same date. The alleged amount of cocaine in question totals 118.41 grams or $31,375, 135.95 grams of cannabis or $6,750, and cash totaling $21,125. They were not required to enter a plea as the matter must be heard in the Supreme Court. Magistrate Kamisi Takumbo granted bail to Marquez in the amount of $20,000 with a like surety. Willingham Walker and Griffiths were bailed at $10,000 each with a like surety. The trio are ordered to report to the Hamilton Police Station weekly and surrender all travel documents. They are set to appear at the March 1st arraignment session in the Supreme Court. Elsewhere, a same-sex couple challenging legislation in a bid to legally marry in Bermuda had their case heard this morning in the Supreme Court. Bermudian Winston Godwin and his Canadian fiancé Greg DeRoche have brought a civil case against the Registrar General for rejecting their application to marry, claiming the refusal breaches the Human Rights Act. Mr. Godwin and Mr. DeRoche are represented by Mark Pettingill with the Attorney General's chambers for the defendant. Gay rights activist and entertainer Tony Brannan and MP Wayne Ferbert, who plans to bring amendments solidifying marriage as between a man and a woman, were amongst the packed gallery earlier today. Mr. Pettingill was first to argue to ensure people of same sex can be protected under the Human Rights Act before Justice Charles Etta Simmons. The hearing is expected to last for the next 3 days.
And some good news for seniors. Members of Age Concern are guaranteed a 10% discount on all fuel purchases from Esso as part of a new partnership between the charity and Sol Petroleum Bermuda. Executive Director of Age Concern, Dr. Claudette Fleming, wants to encourage more seniors in the community to join to have their voices heard.
This is our year. As you know, the population is getting older, and Age Concern has been around for a very long time. We see ourselves as the premier advocacy group for seniors on the island, and we want persons who are over the age of 50 to take advantage of the many benefits that we bring, as well as our education process to help people to prepare for growing older. So we're partnering with Sol Petroleum, who is a link partner of ours, not a stranger to Age Concern, to drive up the membership. And we set up a very aggressive target of 500 new members for this campaign.
And now, what are some of the benefits of having a membership to Age Concern?
Well, first of all, we have what we call merchant partners as well, and there are over 50 of those around the island that offer discounts and concessions to our members with proof of membership. But we also offer the opportunity for education and training on topics like wills and estate planning, retirement planning, caregiving, etc. Throughout the year. In addition, we are very strong on our advocacy, and we look at issues that affect seniors in the community and approach policymakers on how to make legislative changes that affect them.
Jonathan Bruin, General Manager at Sol Petroleum, says the offer is valid at all service stations across the island and starting tomorrow.
We're really excited about this because we see Age Concern as being an extremely important organisation that's representing an increasing group, a group that's, we've been hearing about this for a long time, and the demographic is shifting my way rather than your way. For those members who are already members of Age Concern, 10% discount on Tuesdays from now until March 22nd. For those people who are over 50 and aren't members, it's time. Let's make sure that we can expand the Age Concern membership to give it more profile in the community, because we now need to be walking the talk in making sure that we're providing for our seniors going forward.
To sign up for Age Concern memberships, call 238-7525. That's 238-7525. In other news this evening, Finance Minister Bob Richards has released the details of the airport redevelopment to all members of Parliament. It comes after the minister attempted to release the information to members of the Public Accounts Committee in confidence, which was rejected by the PLP. The minister quoted this morning as saying he does not regret not releasing the contract sooner, calling the move highly unusual. He said Canadian firms Aecon and CCC wanted the information released, as they did not want the public to think they had anything to hide. However, opposition leader David Burt says the contract details released by the minister over the weekend is missing the minimum revenue guarantee and revenue sharing and financial model information. Turning to weather news, much nicer, drier conditions for our Tuesday. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Julia Wyden, and we are checking in on the conditions around the area. Temperatures are currently in the low and mid 60s. St. George's 64, 63 in Hamilton. That humidity is up high because we have a lot of moisture in the air. We've seen that in the form of rain through a lot of the day. Winds out of the west-southwest up to 15 knots. The water temperature is actually a little above the air temp right now at 66 degrees. Waves inside the reef, 2 to 4 feet. Outside of it, up to 13 feet. So be mindful, we are dealing with some choppy waters out there. In fact, as we go into Tuesday, we will have a small craft advisory in effect through tonight. We have a gale warning in effect, so be aware of that. Again, waters are going to be rough. That is all thanks to this cold front that's in the process of moving through. We had a lot of rain during the day today. Showers are going to be winding down, but the winds are going to be picking up. The gustiest of the winds are likely going to be happening before midnight. So again, all things to be aware of. The good news is that we will have improvements on the way. A close-up look at our radar again, showing you that those showers have passed through and they will be winding down as we go into our Tuesday. Conditions in the process of getting better. For tonight, 58 degrees. We'll have those winds subsiding through the overnight. A little bit of rain around this evening and then transitioning to partly cloudy skies. For tomorrow, will be breezy in the morning. Otherwise, we'll have sun and clouds. High temperature tomorrow going to be at 65 degrees. The low in the low 60s. Let's talk tides. All right, the next low tide that we'll have, the next high tide we'll have will be around 10:21 p.m. Low tide has already passed. For tomorrow, we'll have our low tide at 4:17 a.m. and then high tide at 10:36 a.m. That's good for all you to know if you are going to be out on the water. Just again, be mindful the waves are going to be quite choppy as we will have that small craft advisory in effect through Tuesday. Our gateway forecast, if you're doing any traveling heading up towards Toronto, temperature 30 degrees there, and we'll have snowflakes in New York City, upper 30s with a mix of rain and snow. Boston, 32 degrees and the chance for snow showers if you want to get away from all the warmth and head up towards chillier conditions. If you'll be traveling around the Caribbean, we'll have the chance for some spot showers in Jamaica, in Barbados. Trinidad going to be partly cloudy, the high temperature at 90 degrees and no tropical development. Definitely not for this time of year. Okay, let's look at the extended forecast. We have temperatures that will be improving. A little on the cool side Tuesday and breezy in the morning at 65 degrees. Next opportunity is going to be on Thursday when we'll have rain. 70 degrees then, and the chance for showers on Saturday as well. Be prepared for anything the weather has in store. Tune to local radio stations, Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for the latest weather and news conditions.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Good game, man, Ernie. Sure is. Can you pass me the bucket? I got the bucket of cold ones right here. Not that bucket. I'm not thirsty. What do you want, the popcorn bucket? This ain't no movie. Well, what bucket do you want? The bucket of KFC. Oh, I got both of them. I got the big bucket and I got the regular bucket. Yes. You know the game ain't the same without KFC.
Order your KFC bucket before the big game. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Turning to sports, top bodybuilder slapped with a 4-year ban, and Rollins is the man of the match for the Young Lions against India. Mike Sharp reports.
Mr. Bermuda, Javon Dill, has been banned for 4 years from representing the Bermuda Bodybuilding Federation. The chief executive officer of the Bermuda Sport Anti-Doping Authority, Debbie Jones-Hunter, told ZBM Sports that Dill tested positive for 3 performance-enhancing drugs.
Yes, it is unfortunate that we did have a sanction to be handed out to a member of the Bodybuilding Federation. The test was conducted the Night of Champions. I would just encourage everyone to visit BASADA's website. There we have some information on the actual sanction, how long the sanction is. It is a 4-year sanction. He did test positive for 3 substances, and they are all on WADA's 2017 prohibited list and some years prior. I do want to say, first of all, and you did ask about illicit, we have 2 different programs, and that's what I want the public to be clear about. We have 2 different programs, and they have different guidelines and procedures. Where this individual tested positive was under the Performance Enhancing Program, the anti-doping program, which is governed by the WADA Code 2015. And basically, how the process goes is once an athlete has tested positive, and this goes for all of the athletes globally, that we issue a notice of charge, and that letter tells you exactly what you have been tested, what you found positive for, the date, the event, and this was done at the Night of Champions. And then we give you an opportunity over a period of time to respond to say yes, that 1, you either accept the charge, that means that you waive your right to a hearing, or that you would like to have a hearing to hear your voice spoke and to speak on your behalf. And this individual did waive their right to a hearing, so that means that they did acknowledge that they had that the sample is a true positive sample. Mm-hmm. Additionally, what ends up happening is that we also have to notify WADA and the International Federation, and this is all based on the rules of the WADA Code. If we don't do and follow the guidelines, we will become non-compliant. But one thing that I have to mention, as was done in the past, previously when you tested positive, an athlete's name was immediately disclosed. Now, with the new WADA Code 2015, that person's name is not disclosed until the entire process is completed. And that means at the very end, the information is submitted to WADA and to the International Federation. They may have questions. If they don't have any questions, then we can move forward. And we are mandated at minimum to put it on our website, and it is on our website.
Delray Rollins smashes 107 not out off 88 balls and claims 2 for 46 as England's under-19s defeat India's under-19s by 23 runs in Mumbai. The home team won the toss and elected to field. The Young Lions posted 256 for 7, with Rollins hitting 8 4s and 5 6s. Opener H.C. Brooks had a steady knock of 51. Young India was then dismissed for 233 off 42.5 overs. Rollins, Brooks, and Holder all claimed 2 wickets apiece. Rollins also took 1 catch. This was the first in a 5-match ODI series and Rollins' debut for the Young Lions. Good crowds turned out for the Bermuda Motorsports Expo at the Rubis Southside Raceway. All 4 sports came together: powerboat, go-karts, motocross, and street bike racing. First, we hear from the president of the karting club, Scott Barnes.
I thought it was the first Moto Expo, but Scott, I've been hearing differently since but how was the turnout?
It was great. It was a lot better than what we were expecting. A lot of people out here today. Everyone looked like they were having a good time. Like you said, it was the first time that all 4 clubs have come together to do something like this. So it's definitely something positive that we can build on for next year.
And you are?
My name's Takara Deal, and I'm the president for the Bermuda Motorcycle Racing Club.
And your thoughts on today?
I think it was a tremendous success. It's really great that all the motorsports can come together like this and just bond and get everyone out and get us noticed some more.
Right. And you're also aware that this has taken place before.
Yes, it has. What happened before was we used to do fundraising events for St. John's Ambulance. The last one we had was about 4 years ago, so this is the first one we've had in 4 years, and I really think it was very successful.
Yeah. Kim, McCallum, Power Boats, you got some of the big boys out on display.
Yes, I have S20 that came out and D8 that bought their boat out as well, and I'm very thankful to them for doing that.
So this was more of a registration drive for you.
It was, but what it actually ended up turning out to be was people were asking about our junior program and how to get involved in that as well.
More than 20 teams have signed up for this weekend's Bermuda 4-Ball Golf Championships. The deadline for entry is Wednesday. In the second part of an interview, the BGA Administrator Gary Venning talks about what's in the pipeline and a special seminar. There are other things happening on the golf calendar.
Yes, we have the match play coming up at the beginning of March, 1st to the 4th of March. That's down at Mid-Ocean. And again, a popular event. Of course, match play, you're playing against one other person, so it's a one-on-one. It's a little different. And of course, we have monthly medals that go on every month of the year, just about, with a couple of exceptions. And this is a great opportunity for golfers in Bermuda to experience different courses at fairly discounted prices. We're very fortunate the clubs give us a good rate, and so we're able to, keep the entry fees down. And again, anybody that's a member of a golf club is a member of the BGA automatically, and they're very welcome to come out in our events. All our information can be found on the website, bermudagolf.org. That's ORG, remember, not .com. So bermudagolf.org. And I'd encourage people to go there and have a look. And there's just one other thing, a great event coming up that I would like to bring to people's attention, and that is on Tuesday night. We're running a Rules of Golf seminar. This is going to be at Ocean View Golf Club between 5:30 and 7, and it will be good information for both beginner golfers and seasoned golfers who want to brush up on their rules of golf. So hopefully some people will come to that. That's
this Tuesday?
That's this Tuesday, 31st of January, 5:30 at Ocean View.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Every day, a tsunami hits Bermuda. A tidal wave of information and images floods our phones, laptops, and tablets. We're awash in emails, posts, tweets, blogs, texts. As an advertiser, your message can easily get drowned out. Time to reach for the life raft. Technology changed the game, but television and radio still lead the way. Who doesn't have an all-time favorite TV ad?
Affleck, where's the beef? You can count on us.
The man, your man could smell it.
TV remains the most powerful advertising tool in the world. For immediacy and engagement, you can't beat radio. Here at Bermuda Broadcasting, we can help you reach thousands of people at the same time. You might have a new small business or run a corporation. We can customize ads to help you build awareness and attract new customers. TV and radio advertising gets results. Call me, Diane Brewer, and I'll show you how. In medical news, we all know what we eat can affect our heart health, but now a new report finds when we eat could also play an important role. Here are some of the day's top health stories.
Elena Alonso now makes time for breakfast after years of skipping it.
I always thought I was not hungry, and now I realize how much energy this actually gives me.
A new scientific statement from the American Heart Association suggests eating more of your calories earlier in the day may help keep the heart healthy.
People who consume breakfast on a regular basis have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease.
Dr. Marie-Pierre Sonage from Columbia University Medical Center says studies show eating earlier when your body can better metabolize food may lower heart disease risk factors like obesity, high blood pressure, and cholesterol.
Spreading your calories across more smaller meals also seems to benefit the heart.
Dr. Sonage says plan your meals and avoid eating because of stress, boredom, or fatigue.
If reducing your risk of heart disease is the goal, what's the best advice?
Consume a balanced diet, obviously. But if this can be done in the context of more frequent meals during the waking hours, not so close to bedtime, and earlier in the day, that would be the ideal.
And that should start with a healthy breakfast.
If you don't kind of ritualize something, it's really easy for it to fall away.
Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, New York.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for sharing your Monday evening with us, everyone. Good night.